Okay, I'm going to go over the bones. I think the bones are amazing. It's amazing what's inside of the bone. So we're going to start off with like a femur bone right here. Up here at the top, you have your proximal epiphyseus, then your metaphysis, diaphysis, then another metaphysis down here, and the distal physis right there. Now, as we go along, there at the both of the blue ends right here are going to be your auricular cartilage. So we're going to label those like that. Hopefully it stays in. And then you have your, on the outside of the bone, the very outside is your compact bone. Then you have, make sure I get all my stuff here. This little line right up here is, you got spongy bone, but then the epiphyseal line, and right there after the epiphyseal line is going to be your red bone marrow. It's pretty cool. Okay, then you have the outer layer of the compact bone. There is your, let me get that in right there, is your periosteum, if I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I am. And then right in here you have your medullary cavity, and inside that medullary cavity is going to be your yellow bone marrow, and these red things right here is the nutrient arteries. Stick right that in there. And oh, I forgot where that one went. Oh, that's the white part right here underneath the endosternum is inside, meaning the inside of the compact bone. Now we're going to take out a portion of this spongy bone right here, and this is what this is going to look like on the inside. But I do want to kind of go back to this a little bit, because the red bone marrow that you see that's in this right underneath the epiphyseal line, that is found in flat bones and in adults and children, found in the flat bones in adults, and then in children it is found in the medullary cavity of the long bones, such as this bone, the femur. It is where new red blood cells are made. So then as it pushes the new ones out, the old ones go to the middle. That's how they can tell the age of a bone. So as we age, the red bone marrow is replaced with the yellow bone marrow, which the yellow bone marrow consists of your fatty adipose tissue. And so by old age, all of the red bone marrow will actually be replaced by the yellow bone marrow, or if there's any red left, it'll be very minimal. So growth happens as the bone grows. It does happen at the epiphyseal plate up here, and it goes through the proliferation stage, whereas the chondrocytes divide. Now the chondrocytes are located in the lacuna, and we'll get into this right over here later. Then it hypertrophies, in which the chondrocytes grow. They become larger than any other area in the hyaline cartilage. Then calcification takes place, where the chondrocytes lay down layers of calcium carbonate, and the large chondrocytes die and leave the calcified lacuna. So that's this. There's a cell death, and then the ossification, which there are two types of ossification. There are intramembraneous and endochondral, and I'll let you guys look that up and find that out. And then you have the remodeling of the bone as it grows. So now during ossification, new bone is made. So, and the osteoblasts help in this process by producing the bone matrix which surrounds it. Then it is known as the osteocyte. Now the osteoclast is actually bone destroying cells, and they perform reabsorption of bone, releasing calcium back into the blood. So let's go over here and identify all of these. So the lacuna is going to be actually this space right in here between the lamella. This is these little white things right here are your lamella. So, and in between that you have the lacuna, and then right here in the middle, let me see if I make sure I get this right, is the osteocyte. Where's my osteocytes? So remember and then osteoclasts are your ones right here that get produced from your osteoblasts, which are these out here. And now in between the layers here is your canaliculi. in between your
Can I lick your eye?
I know it sounds like can I lick your eye, but it's canaliculi. But it's in between your lamella. You'll see these little lines in between, and my model does not indicate the lines, so you just have to trust me that it's there. Now we're going to take out a portion of the compact bone, and underneath that compact bone we have what we call osteons. And inside the osteons, right in the center, you will see the atrials and the venules. Now we are going to take outside of that, in between these little things in here, I drew like little lines. My model's not great, but is the lamella. The lamella, if I can say that correctly. Lamella. And this is one single lamella. So we're going to kind of break that down in here. And this area in between, the space in between, because right here in the center is your osteocyte. Right there. And then there's usually a space in here, and I didn't really put a good space in there in between where the osteocyte is and where the walls connect here is the lacuna. That space is the lacuna. Then these little canals coming off of it is the canaliculus. So there is my bone. Isn't that fascinating what's inside of your bone? I think it's so cool. Thank you.
Smile.
Hi.